I stumbled upon something uh, yesterday, the day before, and did some more research on it this morning, and fell down into a wormhole. Not quite a rabbit hole, because I don't think this one has an end, and it's connected in so many different ways. A while back, I had talked about the glitter conspiracy and how it's connected to the particles they're spraying in the air, the aluminum, barium, strontium. Also talked about how these and microplastics, nanoparticles, are made with a highly reflective surface. And I kind of presented the idea that these are going to be used as a reflective surface for creating a holographic image. And if you followed the thinking here and did a little bit of the research, you'd kind of see the same thing. But the other day, I went just one step further and let's find out what barium oxide does by itself when it's affected by high heat, like in the upper atmosphere, electromagnetic radiation, UV light, and moistures and other environmental conditions, normal environmental conditions. And I was alarmed. But one of the things I did find out, of course, it kind of confirms what I was saying, that it produces a highly reflective surface. So I went on and looked into aluminum oxide, strontium oxide, and lithium oxides, and came up with the same results, that they do produce a highly reflective surface, which kind of confirms the idea that they're putting the stuff in the atmosphere to create a reflective surface, like for a holographic image they would present during an apocalyptic scenario. Y'all get my grift, right? Blue beam. So, but I kept digging just a little bit more because it seems like more and more was there. And my gosh, guys, this thing's got so many different avenues and everything. How many different things are connected to this? It's really alarming. One of the things I did find out, though, is years ago I heard the comment that they was going to find a way to use humans as a battery, as an energy source. Yesterday, I heard another talk at one of the symposiums, the Davos, I think it was, a few years back, where they had talked about this same subject again, about using humans as a energy source, a battery, a condition where they produce energy. Now, I want all of you to think back for the last several years and how drained of energy you have been, you have felt. You wake up in the morning and you just feel drained. It's hard to get going. You had to drink an extra cup of coffee or take a pause on the edge of the bed before you actually start moving. And that throughout the day, even you feel drained. Even when you go outside, you feel like the sun should revitalize you, but yet you still just even feel more and more drained. Well, there's a reason for this. One of the things about this stuff that's very reflective, I was talking about, it also produces extreme heat during the transformation process that it goes through when it's transforming into these other elements, if you will, or compounds, I think is the word. So they produce an extra amount of heat. So when you go outside and you feel this extra weird heat, this possibly could be part of what's going on. This reflective surface compounding the reflection of the sunlight, also inducing heat, would kind of indicate that, that's why we're really hot. Also, when it gets on the ground, after it mixes with water, the atmospheric moisture, it produces an alkali material which dries the earth and produces rot in the root foundations of the vegetation, trees. Maybe that's why they fall over so easily now. But one of the other things is, guys, that they all individually and collectively create a dielectric component, which is part of the reason the batteries work the way they do. They take in energy and release energy. Therefore, when we are breathing in these compounds, barium, strontium, uh, aluminum, and lithium oxides, after they've been fused by the heat and electromagnetic radiation, and we take them in our food, in our air, our water, and the things that you pick up, your plastics, they're everywhere. Well, we ingest them, and therefore we become a battery. guys, you can do the research. I don't present y'all with a bunch of fancy papers and everything like that. A lot of people do. They make the big money. It's just me. So, I'm doing this like this right here, guys. But I've read the research and everything, kind of transposed it to make it understanding and everything like that. But that's basically it, because we are taking in these radicals, these new compounds, freely, I might say, because it's in everything, in our atmosphere, in our ground, in our water, our food, etc., and everything you touch had these particles in it. Well, we're taking them in daily, as well as we're excreting them daily, and therefore, because of this, we are turning our cells voluntarily into a battery, an energy source for the elites to keep draining our energy daily. We can recharge at night when we rest somewhat, but as soon as we feet hit the ground, you feel like the ton of the world, the weight of the world is on you, and you have no energy. This right here would be a good reason why. I can't say that it's a real proof, guys, because I'm not a scientist and I don't have the papers or the machines or the everything like that to prove it. But guys, all we do here is add 1 + 1 + 1, etc., etc. And if we put all these components together, the greater conspiracy, the components themselves, the oxides themselves, aluminum, barium, strontium, and lithium oxides themselves, then the components that is made through the high heat and the moisture and the radiation, electromagnetic radiation in our atmosphere, they form these compounds and they settle upon everything in our planet, including our bodies and everything like that. It is not hard to imagine exactly what's going on. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. And guys, it's right there in front of us. One other thing about this, guys, is that, let me gather my thoughts here a minute because I'm on a roll with this stuff. It really goes deep. Is that they said a while back, because these particulates that's in the air, these compounds that are fused, they are made by manufacturing corporations. They own these particles. They're tracked even. And therefore, when we voluntarily, as we eat, drink, breathe, and everything, we voluntarily take these particles in. Therefore, we are basically the end user, and we have voluntarily signed the end user agreement. If you know what I mean, right here, check here if you agree with above terms. Well, that's exactly what it entails, is that as we intake these materials voluntarily, though without knowledge, that we actually give them permission in a way which, click here, to use whatever they get out of this. They have turned us into a battery, an energy source, and draining us daily with this compounds that you're creating. It's also very alkaline. So those purification rituals we've talked about, these what is it called, baking sodas and Epsom salts and things like that, guys, it might be something to look into now, because they are draining every bit of our energy every day. No wonder we're so damn tired. I just thought this was very interesting and something people should know about, and it's very alarming, and it's because we know everywhere we go, they are spraying our atmosphere with these same compounds: barium, strontium, aluminum, lithium oxides, along with a whole host of other things, even nanobots, as well as polluted, toxic blood and plasma that they've been spraying in the air. And we wonder why everybody's getting sick and what's happening to the world. It's right there in the air above us, guys. So y'all do y'all's own research on this, and go ahead and do the deep dig that it requires for you to find this. Use different sources, guys. Don't depend on Google. Don't depend on Gemini or any one source. You got to reach out and do a little digging. But you will find out that when you combine all these things, it's very bad. One other thing is that they form a ceramic also, a reflective surface, highly reflective surface in the ceramics that they form when it's formed. And these things are so precise that they reflect exactly the image they are given. They are very reflective, like a TV screen in a mirror. Whatever is given to them directly, they reflect directly. One-on-one, there is no deviation in the reflection or projection of the images of these things. And again, they're very what is called microwaved. Their wavelength is a microwave wavelength also. It's astounding, amazing, astonishing, and scary as hell. Y'all have a groovy day. Later, taters.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.